Good morning. How's everybody to say? If you're looking for Lucy, she's not here at the moment. It's again very, very hot, and she stays on my bed with the fan. So she's been out and exercising and everything this morning. She ran around a lot, so now she gets to rest. It's okay. If she feels like coming, she'll show up. So what's going on? The deal that Trump worked out with Thailand and Cambodia, that looks like it's in the toilet. I think Gaza peace deal's ready to go in the toilet too. He doesn't understand negotiations. Like political negotiations are different than financial negotiations. And his problem is that he believes he's dealing from the most powerful position in the world, and that he's right. And first of all, both of those statements are wrong. So very difficult for him to negotiate with people that have been doing it for hundreds of years. Political negotiations, not bartering or trying to make a business deal of some sort. Business deals and political deals on an international level are much, much different than what he thinks it is. So, he's just sitting around trying to make himself look good, and it doesn't work out that way. It really doesn't. Because he's not respected anymore, Okay, have you noticed the northern lights everywhere? Even besides the north, or as far as they've been seen in the south and southern United States right now. There's a theory proposed by some scientists that are really what you call fringe scientists. It's actually a book. I can't remember the name of the title, but I found it extremely interesting. What the theory is that every few thousand years, and this theory would explain the disappearance of Atlantis, of various cultures disappearing from the face of the earth at times, being just vanishing, and nobody can figure out what caused the end of it. They want to say the same thing going for the dinosaurs. It explains everything. But it's nowhere near being proved, except that our axis is moving right now. So the theory is that every so many thousand years, the planet flips. North becomes south, south becomes north. And in doing so, in that rotation, everything disappears. Everything's destroyed. The planet's just totally wiped out. People disappear, and some survive. They're survivors, and they survive in different areas, and they survive now that they were up north. Now they're going to survive down south. That kind of thing, and it works. It really does. It's a crazy theory, but that's one of my many crazy theories out there. I really like the one that somebody else put out a little slightly different than mine. They said, what if we were nothing more than, that the stars were nothing more than pinholes in the lid of a container that we're in? That's a really good one, I like that one a lot. I have a theory that we were all put here by an alien race just to see what would happen. Some DNA was dropped off, and they wanted to see what was going to happen in their future. I don't know whether their future is their time frame is different than ours or anything else, but it's just a theory. It kind of explains things. It's like how people look at religion to try and explain things that they don't, they really don't know, and I just don't, I really just don't give a shit. It's just fun, All right, so that was the Northern Lights. And listen, they're not making pennies anymore. So all you hoarders, they're not going to be worth anything more than they are already. The rare ones might become very, very, very expensive, but the common penny is still just going to be worth a penny. And if the problem is you can't use it anymore, uh, I don't think they're going to take it anymore. I don't know. I do know that requires a overhauling of a lot of cash register systems and point of pay systems and stuff like that, and pricing structures and whatnot. You can't do something for $7.99 anymore. It's going to cost you $8. So everything's going to go up a penny in price right now, a minimum of a penny, instantaneously. I guess they could still accept the pennies, but the thing is, people hoard pennies. You've seen those big jokes of pennies. I used to have one. But people, they got to stop doing that. And maybe prices will come down. I don't know. I just looked at I just checked my favorite stock price, Tesla. I don't own any stock in it. I just like to see it be fucked. And it dropped 25 points this morning. Don't know why, don't care. Just as long as it's headed in that direction. So is Trump's stock. I look him up every once in a while just to make myself feel good, because whatever's going on, my personal wealth is going downhill because the value of the peso and the dollar are different now. I used to get 4,000 pesos to the dollar. Now I'm getting 3,700 pesos to the dollar. Well, I don't even get that because the exchange rate they give me is like 400 pesos less than what it really is. And then the bank turns the money and they make more. They make more money than God down here, these banks, and they're all owned by. It begins with a G. I forget what. And he's the biggest crook. He lives in London. He doesn't even live in Colombia. So it's not safe for him in Colombia. I don't know how safe it is for him in London once they find out where he is. But that's not my problem, boys and girls. Still working on this wood project. It's very difficult to do because I don't have my scroll saw. Piece broke inside. A very simple piece. Cost $12. And I'm willing to pay up to $100 to get it delivered. And they still won't deliver it to me. Amazon sells it, but they don't have it. It's like that. It's one of those deals. So I got to go looking for it everywhere. And it's making me crazy. And it's twice as long to do the job, because and it's twice as messy. So that's what the big problem is, because the time element is cleaning up after I'm done working. I can't leave all the sawdust all over the place, Oh well, what are you gonna do, So what else is happening? Oh, it's Thursday. We got a football game tonight. I forgot all about that. All right. Let's just go over there. There. You got the Patriots and the Jets. Now, the Jets have a habit of winning some strange games, but I'm going to go with the Patriots. They look like they're for real, and they've been winning the games they're supposed to win, and then adding a couple more and that they shouldn't have won, theoretically. So I'm going to go with the Patriots because this is definitely a game they should win, The rest of the schedule we'll talk about on Saturday. How that works out. Let's see. Oh, the Epstein files. That's always something you can talk about. Now, you have to understand. I don't. I don't believe that he's not in the files. I think he's in the files, and I think he's in a horrible situation, and I think that they have all the I don't know what you want to say, all the evidence they need and everything. I think everybody knows it too. I think he's a pedophile, he's a scumbag, he's a lowlife. They want it out there. Now, if they don't want it out there, okay, so maybe there's something more than I think there is in it. I I think he's a scum, and I think he's in there in a really bad position. And if that happens, then what you're looking at is I don't think it's the end of his presidency. I just don't know, because like they had all kinds of evidence about him being a scumbag when he was running for president. He had him on tape saying you could, you can if you have money and when you're rich and famous, you can grab him by the pussy. And most guys said, yeah, that's right. And I don't think they're like really stunned or shocked or whatever by this stuff. I think the bigger thing is if the prosecutor in the Comey case gets dismissed. I think that's more of an issue than Epstein is really. I think they like the fact that Epstein's an issue, and the reason they don't want it out, and they're saying they don't want it out, is that because it deflects. It deflects from the shit that's going on now. So, and he's good at that. He likes to have things that deflect. Push it aside. Get it out of the news cycle. You know what I mean? Trump's very big at that. Hiding stuff, because while it's like I said, he's like a magician. Look over here, watch over here while I pick your pocket over here. You know what I mean? That's Donald Trump. Now you're not going to be able to see, likely never see any recent economic data despite the shutdown. And he said he has a Ghislaine Maxwell problem rather than an Epstein problem. He does, because she's in jail living a life that she probably wouldn't be living if she was outside of jail. And I don't mean bad, I mean good, better. See, this is what Trump's trying to get Bobart to drop her name from the Epstein discharge petition. I don't know whether that means shit, This Epstein thing to me is just, I know he's on the list. I know he did those things. Rich people feel they can do whatever they want because they get away with it, because there's no repercussions, Looks like Trump and Vance are fighting. Well, they don't like each other. Vance is there because he feels nobody liked him, and it'd be a safe bet that they wouldn't try to remove Trump because they know that's what they're getting. I don't know if that's true, I think if they get rid of Trump, they can impeach or arrest Vance before he's really sworn in. Because Vance is a liar. I mean, there's no doubt about that. But he's a dangerous liar, because he made no bones about it. He called Trump Hitler, compared him to Hitler, a couple of years before he was nominated for vice president. And then Trump was the greatest thing since white bread. He's a racist. He's a opportunist, in the worst sense of the word. So that's life, folks, as they say. Oops. Ding, ding. So anyhow, it's time for me to go. You don't want me to go? Well, I'm running out of things to talk about, so I kind of sort of have to, like. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Helps my self-esteem. That's it. That's the word I've been looking for. Helps my self-esteem when you subscribe to me. I've got 21 now, and I'm very happy about that. And I thank every one of you. And I'll thank you every time I get a chance to say thank you. I will say thank you to you. Uh, if you have suggestions for things I can talk about, put it up. And if I know something about it, or if I can find something out about it that makes it look interesting, I'll be more than happy. When I say interesting, it's not interesting to you. It's interesting to me. If I got to talk about it, I got to be interested in it. You know what I mean? All right. That's it for today. Hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you tomorrow.